Welcome to the detection section of this lab where the scenario, I've already read the scenario which is here in the class shell, and then the detection um, information given from AWS workshop perspective is this. In these sections, we will investigate a simulated ransomware security event that involves unauthorized exfiltration and deletion of data. An environment was created at the start of the workshop to allow you to sift and filter through log data to conduct the investigation. Each section will start with some questions commonly posed during a security event related to ransomware activity. The detection methods of each section will help provide ways to find answers to the questions and will also provide additional information relevant to investigation. We will also provide a walkthrough for the first question to help you get started. All right. So the part one is investigating ransomware. Part one, and then the statement here is we are going to use AWS CloudTrail and Amazon Athena to investigate the simulated ransomware security events. AWS CloudTrail monitors and records account activity across the AWS infrastructure, giving you control over storage, analysis, and remediation actions. CloudTrail login was enabled in your environment, or that's in my environment at the beginning of the workshop, and allows us to view the API calls made during simulation sections. We will review the CloudTrail logs using Amazon Athena, which was also set up and enabled in my environment at the beginning of the workshop. So the question part one is, what's the name of the IAM user that created the bucket and the time it was created? So what is the name of the IAM user that created the bucket and then the time it was created? So that was the first question. The first question that was posed is the name of the IAM user that created the bucket and the time it was created. So go back and see. So this is the question. This is the scenario here. A strange story bucket has appeared in your bucket in your AWS account. Upon further investigation, the S3 bucket contains that appears that to be. So we want to find out who created this bucket. So this is like a so we will try to zone on the API call for that particular action. So in answering this question, the solution provided by AWS is to move to the S3 bucket to inspect our individual bucket to see whether there is any strange bucket that doesn't meet our normal naming convention in our environment. So when you go through this, of course, will be quite an easy take, looking at the fact that we don't have a lot of buckets in our environment. So in the case where you have a lot of thousands and thousands of buckets in our environment, I'm not sure that would be the best way to go about this. But when you look at this buckets list over here, you see that this buckets here doesn't really looks like a fishy bucket, and the name goes like we stole your data, badass, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. So this alone tells you that this is a strange bucket in our environment, and we can look at we can do our query based on this. But what I have also realized, what I have also gleaned, is the use of let's say a query I've developed, and it's S3 query, where I will list all the buckets that were created in my region. So I know my region as US is 1, and then I want to fetch all the buckets that were created. So when I list all the buckets over here, this is also maybe not be the best way to go about it as well if I have tons and tons of buckets, but I'll list them in ascending order looking at the time they were created as well. And I can list them in maybe uh, ascending or descending, and I can list them like that as well to see, and that will be the best way. That will be the best way to give you the timeline in which the buckets were created, and the same things were listed over here. But the best way for me is if you can guess the timeline. I also was able to generate a query from ChatGPT that was able to give me this query. So I got a query that I ran on my Athena. So this was a query. So I want to get all the buckets, and then for the last 12 hours, looking at the time that the incidents happened. So the last 12 hours, all the bucket that was created. And I also want to get the IAM user that created it, the time it was created. And then when I run this query, I was able to get this output. So this was the bucket that was created, and this was the IAM user that created it, and this was the creation time. So that basically goes to answer our question of what was the question again? Let me go back and check. What is the name of the IAM user that created the bucket and the time it was created? Then the second question was the IAM user that created the bucket the same IAM user that uploaded the ransomware? Okay, so before I come there, I would like to take note of this very, very well, this well. So I would like to format this. What I did here is to learn how to format our timeline. So this will be giving us very well. So this will be January 4th, 2025, 17 p.m. UTC. Okay, all right. So this will be the time. I'm gonna put this in my notes. So I'll pause the video here and come back, and then we answer the second question.